Hello there, I'm Dr. William Hart. Today I'm not here with a thick medical textbook or a ready-made prescription pad. I'm here as a friend, someone who's lived through more than 60 winters, who has watched thousands of bright morning smiles slowly turn into weary frowns because of pain that comes with waking up. And I'd like to begin today's conversation with a simple everyday question. Have you ever felt like your knees were weighed down by stones the moment you stepped out of bed? Have your wrists ever been so stiff that opening a bottle cap became a real challenge? Or your back, that loyal spine that's carried you through life, has it started to resist every time you bend over to tie your shoes? If you nodded even quietly deep inside yourself, I want you to know something: you are not alone. I've met countless as retired teachers, once strong carpenters, tough as oak trees, who come to me puzzled. Doc, I used to be strong. I could carry bags of cement without a second thought. Why does a 15-minute grocery trip wear me out now? And I smile, not because it's funny, but because I understand. No one ever teaches us how to grow old. No one warns us that the little things we do, the habits we repeat every single day for decades, might be silently wearing down the very joints that carry us. And today I'm not here to scare you or make you anxious. I just want you to look at yourself, to reflect on the way you get out of bed, how you lift the laundry basket, how you hold your phone, how you sit on the couch watching TV for hours, never realizing you're putting subtle pressure on your knees, your wrists, your spine bit by bit every day. One crisp autumn afternoon, I met with a patient named Margaret, 67 years old, retired after 3 decades as a high school librarian. She walked into my office with a gentle smile, but her limp gave away something she was trying to hide. I asked, "Are you feeling pain anywhere?" She chuckled softly. "Oh, it's probably just age, doctor. My knees feel a little sore when I get up from my chair. Other than that, I'm okay." I invited her to sit down, and as soon as she settled into the chair, I heard a faint groan, not from her lips, but from her joints. We talked for about 20 minutes, and eventually she admitted, "Since I retired, I sit a lot. I read in the mornings, knit in the afternoons, watch TV in the evenings. I still love this old metal chair. My late husband used to sit in, the one with the solid backrest. But lately I can't seem to get up from it without pushing on my knees." I looked at her and said, "Margaret, sometimes it's not the chair that's hurting our joints. It's the habit we've clung to for years. We all have our own version of that old metal chair, a routine so familiar and comforting that we never stop to ask, is it really good for my joints anymore?" Let me ask you this. What's more dangerous than sharp pain? The answer: painless habits that slowly wear down your cartilage without you noticing. You don't hear your joints cracking when you bend to pick something up. You don't feel anything when you rest your legs on the sofa. Nothing seems wrong until one day the pain doesn't go away. I once worked with a man named Richard, 72 years old, former amateur tennis player. After retiring, he developed a habit of sitting with one leg crossed high for hours at a time, reading or watching the news. When he came to see me, he said, "Doctor, I've got this terrible pain in my hip, and I honestly don't know why. I haven't done anything unusual." But when we looked closer, it turned out his favorite sitting position, the one that felt comfortable, was twisting his hip out of alignment, gradually leading to inflammation and early degeneration. Can you see a bit of yourself in his story? You might be thinking, "Well, I'm not an athlete, I just stay home." But the truth is, even the small things, bending your neck to look at your phone, pushing off with your hands to stand up lying on one side every night, they add up. Every little bit of pressure adds up over time. I want you to picture something. Imagine a door hinge. Each morning you open the door, you hear a faint creak. Each night you close it again, a soft creak. You think, "Oh, it still works. No big deal." Until one day the hinge breaks, and that's when you realize the creak wasn't background noise. It was a warning. Your joints are no different. We repeat the same familiar emotions every day, never realizing that our bodies are speaking to us. You might be standing the wrong way when washing dishes, holding your phone in a poor position before bed, climbing stairs on the balls of your feet instead of using your full foot. All of these things, they're small prices we pay daily for a bit of comfort. But in the long run, those small prices can turn into arthritis, degeneration, and loss of mobility. And so I ask you this: is it worth it? Is it worth holding on to a small comfort today if it costs you your freedom to move tomorrow? Your joints have carried you through a lifetime of love, labor, and living. Now it's your turn to listen to them, to care for them, and to gently, intentionally change the little things that make a big difference. I'll be right here helping you walk that path, one mindful step at a time. Habit 1. Sitting too long without changing position. I want you to think back to yesterday. How long did you sit in the same chair without getting up? 1 hour, 3, maybe even more. I once asked a patient of mine, Linda, 64 years old, retired, do you stay active during the day? She smiled kindly. Oh yes, doctor, I walk every morning for 15 minutes. But then I spend the rest of the day reading, knitting, sometimes watching TV. Sounds harmless, doesn't it? Reading, knitting, those are peaceful, gentle activities. But the trap lies in staying in the same position for too long. When we sit too long without standing up or shifting posture, the joints, especially the knees, hips, and lower back begin to receive less blood flow. The joint fluid, which lubricates and protects the cartilage, isn't produced as efficiently because it's only stimulated by gentle movement. That tingling, stiff feeling you get when standing up after sitting, that's not just getting older, that's a warning. So how do we adjust? You don't need to start running marathons. Just stand up every 30, 45 minutes, take a few steps, roll your shoulders, stretch your back gently, bend your knees a couple of times. Small movements, but a big message of gratitude to the joints that have carried you through half a century. Habit 2, bending your neck to look at your phone for too long. Here's something interesting. The older we get, the more attached we become to our phones. Not to play games, but to stay connected with grandchildren, read the news, browse family photos. And I completely understand, but I've also seen so many sore necks caused by that very loving connection. When you tilt your head forward to look at your phone, the weight on your neck isn't just the 10 pounds of your head anymore. It increases to 30, sometimes 40 pounds, especially with deeper angles. One of my patients, Dan, 70 years old, told me he curls up each night lying on his side, looking at photos of his granddaughter on his phone. It warms my heart, doc, but lately my neck has been killing me. I had to tell him something from the heart. The love is still there, but maybe your neck needs a little pillow too. If you're using your phone, try to hold it at eye level. Or better yet, use a table stand so your neck stays aligned with your spine. You can also stretch your neck gently every 20, 30 minutes. Don't let your neck carry the full weight of your love for the world. Habit 3, standing with uneven weight leaning to one side. I often notice it in waiting rooms, people standing with one hip jutting out, hand resting on that side as if it's the most natural pose in the world. That habit, especially if you've done it for years, can throw your spine out of alignment and place uneven pressure on one hip or knee. Joyce, a former preschool teacher, age 68, stood all her life in classrooms. She got used to leaning on one leg while the other relaxed. After retirement, the knee on her standing leg started aching persistently. I gently told her, you've spent 40 years standing for others. Maybe now it's time to stand for yourself on both feet. How to adjust. Practice standing evenly with your weight balanced on both legs. When you feel tired, move around. Don't lean to one side for too long. If you're waiting in line or at the doctor's office, don't hesitate to shift. Bend your knees gently or alternate postures regularly. Habit 4, carrying heavy loads on one side of your body. Do you usually carry your grocery bags with just one hand? Do you sling your purse, handbag, or backpack over one shoulder only? One of the most common mistakes I've seen, especially among women, is carrying weight on just one side for years. Some even joke, my right arm is twice as strong as my left, doctor. I've been carrying bags with one side for decades. The truth is, what's convenient today can be inconvenient tomorrow. One of my patients, Carla, 62 years old, shared that after every grocery trip, her right shoulder felt tight and her lower back ached. She thought maybe she was just out of shape. But when I examined her, the muscles along one side of her spine were clearly pulled and imbalanced. Her hip had even shifted slightly, all from years of one-sided carrying. It's like pulling a curtain from one side every day. Eventually, it stretches unevenly, wrinkles, and becomes harder to center. The fix: distribute the weight. If you have 2 bags, carry one in each hand. If only one bag, switch sides every few minutes. Use 2-strap backpacks when possible or wear crossbody bags with the strap adjusted for balance. Your shoulders, which once cradled babies and held generations, shouldn't bear the burden of convenience alone. Habit 5, sitting on chairs that are too low or too soft. I once visited a friend, Walter, 69 years old, retired after 40 years as an engineer. In his living room sat a plush, deep armchair, the kind that seemed to hug the whole body. He offered me a seat, then gently settled into it himself. But when he tried to stand, I noticed something. He had to press down on his knees with both hands, take a breath, and then push hard to get up. I asked him, "That chair's comfy, huh?" He chuckled. "It is, but getting up is a real workout." That chair, as cozy as it felt, was a hidden enemy of his knee spine and even wrists. Why? When you sit too low or too deep, your knees bend beyond 90 degrees, placing more pressure on the joint. When standing, you rely heavily on your hands, arms, and thigh muscles, creating a sudden surge of pressure on knees, wrists, and lower back. The solution: choose chairs with proper height, firm cushions, and solid armrests. And don't sit too long, no matter how soft the seat. Stand up, walk around, stretch every 30-45 minutes. Your joints don't need the softest chair, they need gentle, regular movement and balance. Habit 6. Not keeping joints warm in cold weather. Have you noticed on colder days your joints tend to ache more? It's not your imagination. Studies show that when temperatures drop, blood vessels constrict, reducing circulation to the joints. Cartilage becomes drier, making joints feel stiff, sore, even painful. One winter morning, a patient named James, 65 years old, called me and said, "Doctor, my legs feel frozen. When I bend my knees, they crack like ice." I asked, "Are you wearing thermal pants?" He hesitated. "No, just jeans." Didn't feel that cold. But the cold your joints feel isn't on your skin. It's deepened by swelling. And when you go out unprotected, your joints are more prone to inflammation, swelling, stiffness, and eventually degeneration. So treat warmth as a gift to yourself. Wear gloves in winter. Put on thermal layers when needed. Don't let your joints shiver in silence. Habit 7. Not waking up your body each morning. How do you start your mornings? Many people over 50 wake up, sit up from bed, and go straight to the kitchen for coffee. No warm-up, no stretching. I call it standing up without saying good morning to your body. Imagine a car parked outside overnight. The engine's cold oil has settled. If you suddenly floor the gas pedal, what happens? The engine strains and wears down faster. Your body's the same. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, joints are stiff, joint fluid is low, muscles are dormant. If you rush out of bed, bend over, twist, you risk injuring yourself in the very first minutes of your day. I always advise my patients, take 5 minutes each morning to wake up your joints. Stretch your arms, roll your wrists and ankles, take a deep breath, gently shrug your shoulders, twist your torso softly. Just like you'd warm up a car, warm up your body, then watch the morning become your ally, not your enemy. Dear friend, we cannot turn back time, but we can return to ourselves by paying gentle attention to the joints that have quietly carried us through life. I don't share these things to scare you. I share them to help you see every small, daily habit, when adjusted with care, can make your joints stronger, longer lasting, and more resilient. Joints don't grow old the way we think. They hurt because we repeat small mistakes for too long. And it's never too late to change. If you see yourself in any of the habits above, don't worry. Today you've become aware, and that's the first step toward healing. I'm Dr. William Hart. Thank you for sitting with me today. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend, a loved one, or leave a note in the comments. I'll be back with more stories about joints, bones, and the graceful journey of health after 50. See you next time.